And we're going to say good morning to Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Randy. Two things, I guess, on Muskrat Falls.
Yeah.
One is the nasty issue of facts, and the other is the position that it's not been an issue during this election.
Facts are clouding the story. I don't know.
No, not forget Muskrat Falls for a minute. It's a little panacea of 2041 that we have floating around out there.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Churchill Falls Labrador Corporation Limited Lease Act?
I am not.
Okay, this is the historic stuff, the little nasty stuff that we have to deal with as we move forward with our children, because it won't be for you and me. That's when we deal with the water rights of the Upper Churchill.
Right.
Yeah, they have a 99-year lease to 2061, and then an option for another 99-year lease. But that's only a little detail, nothing to worry about. 2041, it'll all be over. So we've got the water rights problem.
Yeah, I keep getting the impression that 2041, people look at 2041 as if, like, the only thing that's going to happen in 2041 is that instead of the big check being sent to Hydro-Quebec, the big check's going to be sent to us, and that's not the way this works.
No, and that's only one little side, the little water rights part.
Yeah,
you got to have water rights to do something with your water.
Sure.
But then the second little messy part of this is that the deal itself, that is the financial deal, ends in 2041, but the deal is with CFLCO. And CFLCO, nasty little piece of business, is owned 1/3 by Hydro-Quebec.
34.8%, I think it is.
And that's nasty, see, because they own all the dams and the assets and all that. So 2041, the little deal runs out on the cost.
Yeah.
I guess we got to deal with them again because they own 1/3 of our company that owns all the assets.
Right. Who are we selling it to anyway?
Oh, that's kind of interesting. So we got that little detail there. The politicians love to talk about 2041 because it's almost like it will be the end of our utter embarrassment when really it's only the very beginning. And what made that just a little bit worse, remember that little deal there when Dean MacDonald was the head of Hydro that seen the water, give us a guaranteed winter availability contract so we could get some money back from the deal? Do you remember that?
I can't. I don't.
Okay. Well, what it is
Try
basically
again.
is it puts money back into the Newfoundland Labrador side of the equation, so CFLCO essentially wouldn't go bankrupt.
Oh yes, I remember that arrangement. Yes.
Right now, for that little detail and little advancement of Newfoundland Labrador, that cost us 50% management rights under CFLCO. See, we had to give up a little bit of something. So instead of having 1/3 of control and say, which is what Hydro-Quebec used to have under CFLCO, they now have 50%. Think that might be a little bit nasty in a negotiation going forward?
Could cause us some problems.
Just a little bit. So 2041 is a panacea for politicians, not a panacea for us.
Right.
On the issue of it not being an election issue, I've never seen the Telegram sell so many papers on a non-issue. Because during the course of this election, those opinion pages were full. This weekend, it was inundated.
Blocked again.
Absolutely blocked. And the only time that you had the three leaders on your program was to talk about the Muskrat Falls deal.
Yeah, actually, I never had the leaders on.
Well.
I ended up with one.
Yeah, you had Sean, and then I think you had Kevin.
I had Sean Skinner on.
Yes, and then
I had Aylward on, and I had Ed Martin on.
Right, so you had the three of those.
Yeah.
So that was, and there was, some talk of the leaders coming on and talking during the election, but I haven't heard anything from the Premier really other than a debate which was,
Are you
organized.
not surprised then at the numbers that the Telegram have out in their poll? That this is
I think
majority of the people in this province support the project? It's not a political starter.
Well, I guess it's kind of odd because you have to go through the whole polling mess. But we're talking about a polling company from up along versus, like the Telegram puts that out on the front page, and then in their opinion pages is nothing but Muskrat Falls. And then for a series of your program here, and I know it was very difficult for a lot of people to get on because of all the candidates and so on, there was an inundation of Muskrat Falls. You had some again this morning. It continues to go on. So to say that it's not an issue, well, it's like this. If we blow this deal, like we blew the first deal, which I suspect that's what we're on the road to doing, that little thing called health care and education and, affordable housing. Well, if you're $6.5 billion in a debt that you really can't sustain only on the backs of the ratepayers, you're going to lose more money again. Because then you've got people out there going from $300 to a $600 light bill, which you and I both know means that's the end of disposable income. who can't go to restaurants, can't buy clothes, can't. And then, of course, the small businesses or medium-sized businesses, even like your own up there, if your light bill doubles, there is a consequence to that. The consequence is it gets passed on to the consumer. So, you know, when we go talking about this lower Churchill, and we better be very, very careful. And the politicians go, just wait till 2041. We'll have it all under control in 2041. I don't know if they don't know the difference. I suspect half of them don't, because half of them have never read the historical documentation on it. Don't know what the contract looks like. Wouldn't know that piece of legislation if they fell on it.
Fell on it, yeah. Anyway,
but you know, it's a problem.
I am going to run along on that note. Good to talk with you this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for this. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. She makes a point. It is a problem. There are all kinds of problems out there like that, and we seem to have this kind of like mystical belief that suddenly in 2041 all the money starts flowing the other way, but that everything else stays the same. Well, it doesn't work like that. None of it works like that, as Sue, I think, is eloquently pointing out to us.